Hello and welcome to the Dracaea Neighborhood Greenway Workshop number 2, Imagining Our Future Neighborhood. I'm Tom Bertulis. I'm the Senior Active Transportation Engineer with KTUA, and welcome to this online workshop. The first one was in person, but the second one will be online. So this is our outline, and I'll do my best not to speak like a robot. I'll try to engage folks. Ultimately, we do want your feedback after this presentation. The outline, as you can see here, we're going to talk about the present, the past, the future. The present involves the context of the project, the definition of Greenway, and then going over the existing conditions. The past, we're going to summarize the first workshop and explain the vision that came out of that. The future, which is the most important part, for those of you that want to know, is the future. That's where we want your feedback. We're going to talk about traffic calming elements, other Greenway elements, and my favorite, the traffic impacts. That includes speed reduction and crash reduction. Basically, it's a before and after based on percentage. Let's dive right into the present. So, what is this project all about? Well, we were asked to do 4 things: provide traffic calming strategies, enhance the city's existing Safe Routes to School project, augment the city's bicycle network. It's a decent network. We're going to try to improve on it, and develop a neighborhood greenway. Now, what is a neighborhood greenway? Well, these are low car volume and low car speed streets that can do 5 things. They can improve safety, discourage cut-through travel, protect residential character, that's important, help pedestrians cross those busy streets, something we definitely need on Dracaea, and get people to the destinations they want to go to in a comfortable, low-stress environment. This is a map of where it's located. It's a 4.5-mile corridor from Ellsworth Avenue to Nason Street, and as you can see from this map, there's lots of schools, lots of parks, and in purple you can see the multi-use trails, which you can also see in this map. In red, as I mentioned, there's a beginnings of a nice bike network. Unfortunately, no bike facilities on Dracaea. We do want to put something on Dracaea. This photo, you can see the existing conditions. It's not very bike friendly or pedestrian friendly. There have been plenty of collisions, bicycle pedestrian collisions, as you can see in this map, and even more motor vehicle collisions. There's a relatively high speed, 41-mile-an-hour speed, which is a lot for a street that doesn't really go anywhere. It essentially dead ends on either side. We don't want it to be a through street. We want it to be for the neighbors to get to their homes and to get to their destinations. In the green on the right, you can see that there are 1.5 to 2 times the number of crashes compared to the average for the region. And on the left, in the red, there's 10 times more crashes than the regional average. So this is a very high crash location. So not only are we going to make things better for walking and biking, we're going to make things better for driving. Basically, it's a win-win. Now, let's dive right into the past. Well, we kicked off in January, did the workshop 1 in March, then COVID happened. Then we did a bit of work with existing conditions, research, we developed recommendations, and here we are in workshop number 2 in June. We're going to do workshop number 3 in the fall, and then early next year, we're going to finish it up. In workshop number 1, we focused on the vision and the challenges, and we came up with all these exercises. You can see the yellow sticky tabs that people came up with, and we also had all these poster boards, and people chose their favorite traffic calming elements. We want you today, after this workshop, to not only tell us what you want to see, but where you want to see it. We have a map for you on the story map, and you can pin to the locations where you want to see changes. The results of the vision exercise, what people wanted to see: reduced conflicts, quality bicycle corridors, high visibility crosswalks, shaded plants and shaded trees, adequate street lighting so they can walk at night. They want to reduce motor vehicle speed. They want pedestrian beacons and other types of signalization. And finally, traffic signs to alert drivers to the presence of school children. So we had plenty of results from the visiting. If you go to the story map, you can see more, but here's 2 slides. This first slide shows that most people are walking either every day or multiple times per week along Dracaea, and most people wanted to see some sort of bike facility and some sort of traffic calming on the street. This is what we're going to try to provide you. All right, here's the important stuff, the future. We want you to digest all this and then give us feedback after this presentation. There's 3 types of traffic calming elements. Well, there's 2 types, but there's also other Greenway elements. The main 2 types are the horizontal traffic calming, anything that goes side to side, like a traffic circle or a curb extension, and the vertical traffic calming element. That's when the motor vehicle goes up and down, like for a speed hump or a raised intersection. So let's first look at various types of horizontal traffic calming elements. Well, this could be traffic calming circles. These are very popular in this country. Seattle has more than 1,000 of them, and they've been effective and popular up there. This is an example on Dracaea. What would happen if we put a traffic circle here? Well, this is what it might look like. You could do traffic parking chicanes where the motor vehicles sort of zigzag along the neighborhood. You do curb extensions, as you can see in this photo. There's various types of on-street edge friction you can do, such as chicanes and median refuge islands, as you can see in this photo. These have a 73% collision reduction, which is the highest of any traffic calming measure. So they're pretty impressive. Now, if we did this to Dracaea, what would it look like? Well, here's a before picture of Dracaea Avenue. And here's an after picture. You can see the curb extensions and the median refuge island in the middle of the street. Next, we come to vertical traffic calming. So this could be raised intersections or speed tables like you see on the left, or raised crosswalks. They have significant pedestrian collision reduction. Here you can see it's 46%. These are speed cushions or speed lumps, which are pretty innovative. Emergency vehicles like this fire truck are wide enough to actually go into the gaps, and so they won't be slowed down, but regular motor vehicles will be slowed down. So these work quite well. And there's other traffic calming elements for the neighborhood greenway. This is one example. It's a gateway treatment. It's going to be really nice on either end of Dracaea. Speed feedback signs could work well. Various volume reduction strategies could be implemented, such as half street closures or traffic diverters, as shown in these photos. You could do various signalization options. These really help pedestrians get across the street, especially at school locations. On the left, you see a pedestrian hybrid beacon, and the right, a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, which are especially useful when they can be powered by the sun. You could put in high visibility crosswalks, as shown here. And if you want to get really creative, you can turn those crosswalks into intersection art, as you can see here. There's various bicycle strategies. The green bike box on the left allow the cyclist to make a left turn at signalized intersections. On the right, this is also for signalized intersections. This 2-stage left turn cue box allows the cyclist to go through in 2 stages. You could color the pavement, as you can see on the left and the right, for bikes and peds. And last but not least, advisory bike lanes, which might be a good idea for Dracaea, or when you don't quite have enough room for full bike lanes, so you dash the bike lanes and you move the center line, and then you can squeeze all the users into the roadway. Here's basically a breakdown of all the streets along Dracaea on the left, all the traffic calming treatments across the top, and then all the treatments that might be applicable for certain streets. We certainly want your feedback on what treatments you think would work best for the streets where you walk and bike and drive on. So my favorite slides are how effective are these traffic calming treatments. First, we'll talk about collision reduction and then speed reduction. So collision reduction, this is a lot of information. So I can just point out that the median refuge island, which is circled here, shows up to a 73% collision reduction. They vary between 15 to 73% up and down this table, as you can see listed here. This next slide shows speed reduction for traffic calming elements. I took the liberty of circling some of these Raised intersections reduce speed according to this research by about 1%, mini circles and 11%, and at the very top you can see how humps, lumps, and speed cushions reduce speeds by as much as 25%. So how can you help improve Dracaea? Well, you can provide your input on solutions using the story map. We want to know what you want to see in your schools, at major cross streets, at minor cross streets. We want you to give your input on ideas for street segments and for intersections. What are the next steps? Well, this was workshop number 2 is today. Next, we're going to do workshop number 3 in the fall. We're actually going to dive into a design concept. It's going to be more detailed. We're going to finish up the project early next year. And after this video, please go to this website. I'm going to show you on the next, which is the last slide, to do 3 things. Just look at the story map, take the survey, and then input on a map. So here's the last slide. This is the link that we want you to go to. It shows the story map. You can scroll all the way up and down the story map. The most important thing, it's easy to miss. I missed it the first time. The very top in black, you'll see it says Overview, Background, Outreach, Tech Survey, Map Survey, Workshop 2. Click on Tech Survey and on Map Survey. Then you can take the Tech Survey and take the Map Survey and give us input. We would really much appreciate it. Thank you very much. And next is the Q&A.